Mauricio Pochettino on the overlap talking about Spurs. Reports in Italy claim that Inter have agreement in principle with Tottenham and Italy goalkeeper Guillermo Vicario, and Tutto Sport in Italy have reported that PSG have set a fee of 30 million euros to sign Randall Kolo Muani. Here are your daily Tottenham news headlines. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Lee and this is another episode of the Daily Tottenham News Headlines. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel, like, share and comment in the comment section below. If you are listening on audio platforms, please hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. So, moving on to today's headlines, Mauricio Pochettino has been on the overlap talking about Spurs. It's very sad. I really love Tottenham. It's going to be part of my life, an important part of my life as a coach and as a personal life too. It's really sad because I know the people are suffering there inside the club and also the fans. It's difficult to accept, but the moment when we left, what I told to the media and what I told internally was my feeling and my vision. You need to talk during the day that you are there. When you left or when you are sad or when you decide to move again, I think it's not time to talk. If you talk, things for me are not right. But I think when I was there, I tried to explain what was my vision. We were in a situation that was waiting because I think the training ground, we finished the stadium, we moved to Wembley to play, to Milton Keynes to play many games. At the same time, we were very competitive. But this idea of how it can affect the environment and the people outside and the people that make the decision inside, it's one title, it's one win. An FA Cup is to win a Carabao Cup. It's a shame we were winning every season because with all the circumstances that we were fighting, we spent 18 months with no signing. That was a record in the Premier League. We had money to spend, but not the type of money to improve, to be close to win or to challenge. We challenged to win, but we missed that last step. Pochettino then explained what he looks for when presented with an offer to become a head coach and his time at Spurs. It was difficult. Now it's difficult to talk about that because I was really difficult situation. Because one of the things that I always like is if someone offers me a project, the possibility to coach, I want to know the reality. I want to know what they expect from me. I want to know what I need to do, which is the reality of the club. And I think what happened in Tottenham is that I understood what they expected from me from the beginning. Of course it was tough, but I think I cannot complain. Only what I wanted to tell them is to say, okay, that is the idea. That is the strategy. That is the philosophy of the culture that were creating there. But if we wanted to be competitive, we need some time to make different decisions. The problem is when the assessment is not coming from inside the club and the assessment comes from outside, and when people start to intoxicate things and say, no, you should win with this team. Football Italia have reported that Inter have basic agreement with Vicario, but still have two obstacles to overcome. According to the latest updates from La Gazzetta dello Sport, Inter already have basic agreement with Vicario's camp over the length of contract and future wages, although these exact figures have not been specified in Wednesday's report. Still, the agreement between the Inter camp and Vicario's entourage is said to be complete. However, Inter still have two major details to iron out before welcoming Vicario to the San Siro. First up is negotiating a fee with Tottenham. Figures in the region of 15 to 20 million euros have been reported in the Italian press in recent weeks, and it is understood that Tottenham will be pushed to sell Vicario more urgently should they suffer relegation from the Premier League at the end of the 25-26 campaign. Secondly, Inter must come to a decision as to what to do with the goalkeeper Martinez, who has largely served as an understudy to veteran Summer over the last 2 seasons. And Tutto Sport in Italy have reported that PSG have set the fee for signing Randall Kolo Muani at 30 million euros. Juventus are keen to bring the French striker back to Turin. After a mixed season with Tottenham Hotspur, 5 goals in 37 games and only 1 goal in the Premier League, the striker could therefore soon return to Italy, where his loan spell last year proved to be rather successful, both on and off the pitch. Really interesting one, isn't it? Mauricio Pochettino going on the overlap and talking Tottenham. It's obvious that the overlap are trying to get on as many Tottenham-related people as possible to be able to milk that cow as best they can. And who better to have than Mauricio Pochettino, for sure. I think he kind of makes it pretty clear that, he knew what he was getting into when he took over the Spurs job. He knew the culture. He knew the restrictions that he would have and so on. And he wasn't complaining. He understood it. He knew what he had to do. He believes that we were competitive. But, of course, we were just that little bit away. Tottenham had money, but not the type of money that really meant that we could kick on and really challenge outwardly. I know there were times we come to semi-finals and we got close and so on. But for me, it was always around the depth. And I think that's a fair comment, that whilst we had a good team, we didn't have a good squad. And so there was lots and lots of work to do there. And he just needed that one last push after building for so long to really get us over the line and to start to win trophies. And I believe at that time, if we'd have won that Champions League trophy, things could have been so much different. The atmosphere around the club would have been so different. And I think it would have given us a platform to really, really build on, a bit like how it did for Liverpool. And that obviously just didn't happen. I do believe, to be fair, at the time of Pochettino coming towards an end, he was making some very strange decisions. He was saying some very strange things. And I think sometimes naturally those scenarios come to an end. And I think it was probably the right thing to do. I think, Daniel Levy had his head turned by Jose Mourinho, who kind of suggested that he could get the best out of this squad and that, money wasn't the issue. It was about having that winning mentality and something that he could bring because he was such a winner. I think without that, I don't think Pochettino would have gone so soon. I think the other thing he kind of suggests in this is that the influence came from outside of the club rather than inside of the club. Now, that suggests to me that whilst Daniel Levy may have been open to doing more or to investing more or whatever, that ENIC and the Lewis family, Joe Lewis at the time, was not keen on doing it and wanted him to win with the team that he had, with the players that he had, the squad that he had. He'd come so close; it was up to him to really make the difference to win those finals and so on. And I think that's probably what he's implying from that point of view. And we are still stuck with that scenario now, aren't we? The owners are still the owners. We still have ENIC as the owners, albeit now with Viv and Charlie rather than Joe pulling the strings, allegedly. We still haven't seen the untightening of the belt. We still haven't seen a major investment coming in that they've implied that they are going to do, which I understand is difficult at this moment in time, given where we are and what we're going through. And I think a big decision will need to be made if we stay in the Premier League. Will the Lewis family untangle those shackles and allow us to get on and really build something, start splashing the cash and really looking at this from a point of view of ensuring we don't get dragged into this sort of scenario ever again. So yeah, no, interesting to see how that pans out. But of course, with Mauricio Pochettino, there will always be a level of love and respect for him because of what he did for Spurs for those sort of 5 or 6 seasons that he was there, and the dream will always be alive. The what if will always be there. But we cannot be in the realms of nostalgia. We need to now get behind De Zerbi and see what De Zerbi can do. And holding on to players that are past their sell-by date for too long is one of those things. So it's interesting to see this story about Vicario going round and round and round, because actually we've seen it before. It's been quoted previously at different times and so on. So it feels like there are legs in this situation. I, for one, would be okay with letting Vicario go. I don't think he's at the level that we really, really need. It's clear that you need an absolute top drawer goalkeeper if you are going to compete. And Vicario isn't that. He's a great personality. He is a great shot stopper, but he is not commanding in his box. He blames everybody else. His positioning is not always the greatest. He doesn't come out when you really, really need him to. So there is lots of work to be done for Vicario, and maybe Italian football is better for him than the Premier League. I do feel that if we are relegated, I do think Kinski could actually do the job in the Championship if we are to keep him, and I think it would do him good to actually learn from the physicality of the game and so on. But in the Premier League, we definitely need a out and out top goalkeeper. So, and the final story today, which tickled me slightly, is PSG asking for 30 million euros for Kolo Muani. Listen, there's no doubt the man is talented. He has played some good football over the years and he's shown his worth. But in terms of the Premier League, he has not got anywhere near it. He's been very, very poor, lacking in confidence, throwing his arms up left, right, and centre, falling over at every opportunity. He is a very poor loan for Spurs. I think it was a rushed decision just to get somebody in to back up Solanke and Richarlison, given the injuries that we've had and so on. I don't think he's ever going to hit the heights that we need from him. And so for me, I'd be happy to chip in for his cab to Heathrow, Stansted, Gatwick, or City Airport to take him to Turin to join up with Juventus. So I think 30 million is a stretch given how he's played this season. But, you know, he could go there and absolutely go on fire and be fantastic. That's football. That's how it goes, isn't it? So yeah, we'll have to see what happens there. But yeah, 30 million euros for Kolo Muani. Yeah, enough said. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks very much for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do give it the thumbs up in the video. Comment in the comment section below. Let us know what your views are on any of these topics that we've gone through today. How do you feel about Mauricio Pochettino? Has that made things clearer for you about his time at Spurs? Would you let Vicario go? Are you happy with Kinski? Who can you bring in to replace him? All those questions I put to you to kind of mull over and think about during the course of the episode. And let us know what you think. If you are listening on audio platforms, as I said at the beginning, please do hit that follow button and leave a review. Those reviews are really important for the algorithm and help the channel to grow. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get to know whenever this channel goes live or produces more episodes. because Chris and the guys put an awful lot of good stuff out there and you don't want to miss it. My name's Leader Dorset Spur. I am on YouTube myself. You just have to look into Leader Dorset Spur and you will find me. If you've liked what I've done on here, please do come across and give me a sub over there. It'll be great to have you on board and talk to you via that medium. So anyway, thanks for watching. I feel like I'm rambling, but thanks for watching again. And as always, up the Spurs.